It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed.
Everybody look around, round. What's good, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Hope all is well. This probably, I don't know. We'll see. But welcome in. Happy hump day. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Hope all is well. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Oh ye few but faithful. I know it takes YouTube about 40 seconds to respond. So while I wait for YouTube to respond, I will any day now. Okay. Cool. Betcha. Anyway, so I mean, this couldn't be a better, more amazing time for this to happen. As I was getting this together and pondering if I even was going to do this today, this happened.
This is CNN Breaking News.
We are following breaking news just into CNN. A Georgia prosecutor officially dropped the historic racketeering case against President Trump and others for attempting to overturn the 2020 presidential election. I want to go right to CNN's Kara Scannell. What are you learning, Kara?
Good morning, Pam. Yeah, this new filing in from the prosecutor who had taken the place to look into the Fulton County investigation of Donald Trump and others has filed a motion with the court saying that they are not going to move forward with the case. They're dropping the charges. What he filed what's known as a nolle pros, and that means that in theory, because if the statute of limitations hasn't run out, a case could be refiled. But he attached to his filing about a 20-page statement explaining his rationales for why he did not think that they should move forward with this case. You'll remember this was the case that began with Donald Trump making a call to the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, urging him to find the votes. And then District Attorney Fani Willis brought this historic investigation and filed those racketeering charges against Donald Trump and dozens of others for interfering with the 2020 election. She was then disqualified from the case because of an undisclosed romantic relationship with another prosecutor. And that is how this case now fell into the hands earlier this month of a prosecutor who was assigned the job of trying to find someone to take on this case. He said that he couldn't because there were too many conflicts, and he took it on himself. Now we're seeing the results of that, and that is that he is saying that they are not going to move forward with this case. And he summarized it in part by saying that he made this decision by examining the case file, examining what the jury had been presented, and also considerations of the law. He says that, contesting an election is not unlawful, but and that is part of the reasons for why he decided not to move forward with the charges at this point. But again, this is a nolle pros filing, meaning that they're dropping the case right now. In theory, it could be revived if the statute of limitations doesn't run out. But of course, Donald Trump is still in office for another 3 years. Pam, this is the last of the criminal prosecutions that have been hanging over Donald Trump as he entered the White House. The only conviction that he faced out of the 4 indictments was the one in New York for the hush money payments, and that one he is appealing. Pam?
Winning! We're winning. We're winning, people. I mean, it don't get more. Can somebody check on Fonnie Willis? Where's Gorilla Grip? Is Gorilla Grip okay? Somebody go find Gorilla Grip and see if she's okay. First of all, the first mistake you made was putting a whore in charge of the case. That was the first thing. Number two, we all knew this was a bullshit case. We knew this from the beginning. All of these cases were bullshit. We all knew they were politically motivated. We all knew that they couldn't get Trump on an Epstein file, so they decided to fabricate these things. You turned a misdemeanor into 34 felonies. Yeah, but it's not political. Nothing to see here. No. We're not making this up. No. Donald Trump's a felon. Meanwhile, most of your fathers are felons, your uncles, your nephews, your nieces, your children, most of the people in your life are felons. But Donald Trump is a felon. Which, God willing, if people in the appeals court in New York understand the law and the constitutional violations of that case, ultimately will undo all of that as well. Because we knew all of these cases were politically motivated. They were just to distract. And actually, if you want to talk about election interference, this was literally it. You know, distract. And if Donald Trump proved anything, and if he did not inspire you to persevere in spite of, I don't know what to tell you. Because the fact that he was being pulled to all of these different directions legally, and still kept campaigning, kept pushing forward, kept doing his rallies, kept doing everything that he was supposed to do. So the fact that he kept moving forward and y'all lost in the end, egg on your face. You still lost. Winning. Congratulations, President Trump. We all knew this was crap. And somebody go check on Gorilla Grip and make sure she's all right. You know, I know. And then why would you hire your hoe to be the lead on the case? Why would you hire your hoe to do that? So that's where you messed up. And this is why nobody like y'all. This is why nobody like y'all. Because you go around doing nefarious things and then you come here complaining and talking about somebody else. Asking for fucking votes is not a crime. It's not a crime. It never was. We knew it wasn't. You knew it wasn't. You know, but it is what it is. Anyway, we were going to start on, well, we started on some great news and then we'll move on to some good news. So gas prices are the cheapest they've been since 2021. Now, I know some people are still complaining, oh, the gas is still high in my area. That's your local jurisdiction. Ain't got nothing to do with the has nothing to do with the president, right? So you check your gas tax. Next time the gas tax is on the ballot, say no. Yeah. How about that? You know, something like that. But anyway, this is the cheapest gas prices have been since the year of our Lord 2021. Meaning, since the COVID, we have not seen such great gas prices, and I concur. This is a marathon, people, and I need to remind people of this over and over again because we're only 10, almost 11 months in, and people, the impatience of people is laughable. Then you have these influencers who are literally discouraging people from supporting the president that they voted for. When you vote for the president, you give him 4 years, right? In this world, we give him 4 years, right? So he has 4 years, which is still not a lot of time. And y'all expect him in the first year to do everything. That's absurd. Most of y'all haven't accomplished much in your lifetime, let alone 1 year. But Trump's supposed to be a miracle worker. He's supposed to say, you know what? If you come out of this still destitute and broke and dusty, that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with the president because you were dusty when Clinton was president. You was dusty when Bush was president. You was dusty when Obama was president. You were dusty when Biden and Trump and everybody. You was still dusty. That's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with the president. Yeah, that's your life choice. At that point, it's just your personal life choices. You can't blame the president anyway. So enjoy the cheaper gas prices for those out there on the road traveling to see their family for Thanksgiving and the holiday weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy having a couple extra dollars in your pocket. As 100 million people hit the road, to go celebrate the joys and the beauty of family and Thanksgiving. Anyway, so let's talk about, as Inked calls her, this burnt biatch.
Motivates them so they can.
Wait, you jumped it. I jumped it. Hold on. So the burnt biatch, Joy Reid, she mocks Erica Kirk for wearing leather pants for one, right? And then don't you love, as a person who is a whatever you are, Republican and independent or whatever, but either way, if you voted for Donald Trump, don't you love when people call you, they know more about MAGA than you from outside the club? They know more than you. You don't know anything. Everything they do, everything they say about what you're a part of is the holy grail and the truth from outside the club. Now, I sense Joy Reid probably needs a stiff one. She probably had none in a while, even though I think she's married or has a partner or something. But apparently she ain't getting it enough, and she needs a job. So she's gonna keep talking and saying random, radical, stupid things like this.
Motivates them so they can't have the successor to MAGA be the guy with the brown Hindu wife. They're also Christian nationalists. That ain't gonna work. That's why he's throwing his wife under the bus. Poor Usha. Or she's in on it, right? And she's
playing slap and tickle with Erica Kirk. So
and of course, you have these two ugly, pulled face, fake blondes in here. He is not throwing his wife under the bus. How is he throwing his wife under the bus? Can somebody explain to me? Did I miss something? How is this man throwing his wife under the bus? He has 3 children with this woman. He has been in love with this woman for a long time. They've been together, and he got elected to the vice presidency with his brown wife. He will get elected to the presidency with his brown wife. This whole notion that the foundation of MAGA is racist is bullshit. Right? Now, there are racist people everywhere. There are racist liberals. There are racist conservatives. There are racist people who voted for Trump. There are racist people who voted for Kamala. Racism is racism. Right? If you're not going to call it out on your own side, shut the fuck up when you see it somewhere else. So, JD Vance is very electable with his beautiful brown wife standing right there next to him and his beautiful half brown children. They will all be in the White House one day doing their damn thing. So this whole notion that we need to get rid of the brown wife, what is he going to get rid of his half brown children as well? Stop this.
Weirdest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, she's like in her Tammy Faye era.
Okay, holding on the back of his head and rubbing on his.
Oh my gosh. So Erica Kirk, if you didn't watch her on Megyn Kelly's tour, talked about this. And and also we brought up pictures of her hugging women the same way. So what is she, bisexual now? But okay, leave it to these just 3 ugly, physically ugly and mentally and spiritually ugly people.
Some weird shit.
Baby, don't do that to Jason. I'm gonna start thinking something's going on. Why you holding the back of his head? I'm like, you not doing that right thing. You're supposed to be a widow. You in leather pants.
Yeah, it is.
That's not.
Oh, she can't wear leather pants because she's a widow. Did I miss something? I did. Are widows not allowed to wear leather pants? Oh god. If y'all know any widows, was there a booklet that said you can't wear leather pants after your husband dies? I don't know. Is there something that I missed? I don't know. Maybe there is.
Widow wear.
Could you imagine if?
Wouldn't it be the most perfect fairy tale, MAGA fairy tale?
Yeah.
If he finally sees the light that he needs a white queen.
Jesus. These people are miserable. These people are pathetically miserable because nobody who's actually happy has time to sit there and analyze somebody else's marriage. I can't say that. I'm trying to find another way to say what's in my head right now. But apparently, you can't wear leather pants. So if your husband dies, you can't wear leather pants, ladies. Don't wear no leather. Don't come out here in that Eddie Murphy leather. And if you can't hug anybody. If you hug someone, do the hug where your bodies don't really meet, but you're just like this, but you kind of back away. Yeah. Make sure you do that. And then don't touch the back of their head, because that's a sign that you're fucking them, or you want to. And then and now JD Vance, after all of his success and the years he's been with his wife and all of that, and the children they've made and the happy home they've built, he needs a white queen
instead of this brown Hindu.
Brown Hindu. You mean like Kamala? Because y'all told us she was a black woman, but we all knew that wasn't true.
I mean, I'm not saying that's happening.
Now she, that this is how you legally backtrack, because but when all of this doesn't come true, and he's still with Usha, and they're beautifully running for 2028 and all of that stuff, are you going to apologize for this, Baldy? The low cut look only works on women that have good hairlines and pretty faces.
Right. Or maybe that Usha's not even in on it. Maybe
she looks like a fucking monster, don't she?
Maybe she's whatever, but that's one entrant. Another entrant is frankly Donald Trump Jr. If he can, keep it together. Motivates them.
Oh, Donald Trump Jr. is on the sugar booger. I'm sorry. Did they find sugar booger in the White House when Trump was president, or when Mushbrain was president? When Otto Penn was president? Because whether or not Don Jr. partakes is none of our business, first of all. Number two, he's not falling out of places. Number three, he doesn't have a laptop with child corn on it. Did I just use a TikTok term? Oh, Jesus. I've officially been indoctrinated. I'm saying corn. Anyway, if you want to be miserable and ugly inside and out, you can look at these three monsters for your template, and you can start rehearsing with them. Anyway, moving on. So Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, of course. We haven't talked about him in a few weeks. So in the light of Bethany McGee being doused with gasoline and set on fire on a Chicago L by a career criminal with 72 prior arrests, and this woman is fighting for her life. Mind you, I've always said to people, if something like this ever happens to me and you save me, I'm going to make your life hell. I'm going to make your life hell. I don't know how, because I'm incapacitated, I'm disabled, but I'm going to figure out a way to make your life hell. Don't save me. Let me go. I can't do anything. I'm all burnt up. Like, what am I still here for? When am I? Pull a plug, please. But that's just my personal choice. But back to this. Here's Brandon Johnson protecting criminality per usual.
We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that, and we've ended up with the largest prison population in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down.
Can somebody... Maybe somebody needs to shoot his wife in the head, or douse his wife on and set her ass on fire. You gonna want that motherfucker on the streets after he been First of all, it was totally avoidable. It's hard enough to get a second chance in this world, let alone 72. How the fuck do you get 72 chances in this world? How do you get 72 chances? You've been in and out of the legal system 72 times and no judge got it right? No judge. No judge said, yeah, this ain't gonna work. This person belongs. Bring insane asylums back. That's the first thing. Humane insane asylums, but insane asylums. We need to bring those back, first of all, because a lot of these people just need to be locked up in something for the rest of their lives because they cannot function in a civil society. Look at this. What are your solutions, Brandon Johnson, besides crying racism? Because clearly y'all black asses can't keep it together long enough to not be criminals. So what's the solution, Brandon Johnson? Wait for them to harm one of your family members? Because I can promise you, if this monkey did something to your family, you would not be sitting here tooting his horn. Yeah, we got to get... What's the solution, Brandon Johnson? What's the solution? If incarcerating these monkeys is not the solution, what's the solution? Because clearly, sitting here trying to appeal to emotion while justifying criminality, while trying to keep monkeys out of prison is not going to help. It's not going to help. So what's the solution, Mr. Johnson? You have 24-hour personal taxpayer-funded armed security. You, sir. That woman on the train, she don't have that privilege. And now she's fighting for her life. And all the other people who get harmed every day in your city. Oh, let's go over some of the rates. This year in Chicago alone, there's been 378 murders. Yeah. 1,339 shootings. Under your watch, Mr. Johnson, what's the solution here? There have been 5,267 robberies. What's the solution, Mr. Johnson? Mayor Johnson, what's the solution? And if that's not enough, there's been 16,408 felony thefts. Under your watch, Mr. Johnson, what's the solution, sir? Career criminals are literally terrorizing the streets of Chicago, and y'all are resisting help from the feds. Y'all resisting help from President Trump's administration. You're resisting everything that could actually help make your city safer. And you know who pays the price while you sit back making excuses for these animals? The average Chicagoan. They're the ones who pay the price. They're the ones who suffer. They're the ones being assaulted and attacked. They're the ones whose kids can't play outside. While you and your family get personal armed security paid for by the very people who are unsafe in their own damn neighborhoods. Justify that, run, tell, lie. Brandon Johnson has no solutions, and I cannot wait till he's voted out next year. And hopefully the people of Chicago are smart enough to not bring another one of these mongrels into their city hall. You replace the racist lesbian with a dummy. Because remember, she prioritized black reporters and black people and whatever. Brandon Johnson, the next time you step up to the mic, there should be some solutions. If there are no solutions, we don't care. It's just a bunch of empty rhetoric. And in my opinion, lock them up. Lock them up. You cannot function in a free and fair society. Done. That's the solution. Anyway, remember Lindy Lee? Remember the little Asian woman who was running around? She was a very big fundraiser for Democrats. I mean, millions. She is still very well connected to a lot of big time donors politically. Anyway. Remember when it was reported after Kamala Harris's campaign that the campaign was $20 million in debt, and the Democrats came out and said, "Oh, this was a lie. This was propaganda. This never turned out." Turns out,
I told the country that she was in debt. They had a spokesperson from the DNC come out, release a press release essentially calling me a liar, saying that I was completely wrong, Just last month, they came out and admitted that they were now paying her debts of $20 million.
That's so crazy.
But where's my sorry, by the way? But putting that aside,
don't hold your breath.
They're never going to apologize. We know they're never going to apologize. But isn't it funny how they just wait until everyone forgets? Well, the idiots that voted for them. They wait until the idiots that voted for them. They wait till they forget. And then they say, oh, yeah, actually, that was true. Kamala Harris her campaign was $20 million in debt. Yeah. But nobody's going to care. It's like when they print that retraction and the retraction is all the way at the bottom and nobody really cares because the big story that's distracting them is at the top. No one cares. The retraction is all the way down here. Nobody cares. Right. And then you go and you try to have debates with idiots and they're saying, oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. Meanwhile, they were never aware that the DNC actually owned up to it. Also, the DNC denied that they were broke. Whew. The DNC just took out a $15 million loan, y'all. You can go look it up. But they're winning. You took out a $15 million loan, but you're not broke. Okay. I mean, whatever you like to do, for those who are watching, make sure you hit the like button on YouTube. If you have not done so already, make sure you share the live. If you are here for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and we'll be back.
Is the president losing Republicans?
No. Look, this is still Donald Trump's Republican Party, and we can see it here. It's like a rock, to quote Bob Seger. I mean, take a look here. Republicans who approve of Trump. 6 months ago, it was 87%. Now, well, hello, it's the same number. It's 87%. He has not lost any support among Republicans compared to 6 months ago. As I said at the beginning, he's like a rock. He's like a rock. The Republican base is sticking by Donald Trump at this point in time.
It really is interesting to watch his overall approval rating go down, but see this be completely constant here.
It is among independents. It is not among Republicans.
Okay, so how does this compare to past presidents in a second term?
Yeah, okay, I think this gives the game away, right? Which is Donald Trump, if you look at 21st century presidents' own party approval at this point in term two, who leads the pack? It's Donald John Trump. 87% of Republicans approve of Donald John Trump. You go back to 2013, 78% of Democrats supported Barack Obama, and it was 78% of Republicans who supported George W. Bush back in 2005 at this point. So Donald Trump has the biggest highest own party approval of any president who served their entire second term in the 21st century.
You could look at this one of two ways. You could say, obviously, he's doing way better than past presidents. Or you could say, there is still room to settle. If there is a reversion to the mean here, if that does fall further, that could chip into his overall approval rating. Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene, resigning from...
Yeah, we don't care. And you see the little hater on the left here, his approval rating is going down, and then you leave out the context. Among independents, which I'm almost one, but still pretty solid, right? But the Republican Party is getting on my nerves. Not Trump, but the Republican Party, So let's make the distinction right there. But so to all of the boneheads, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, independent, whatever your label is, I don't care. To all of y'all who are, the Trump is failing, no, he's actually considering everything he's up against, considering all of these federal judges blocking stuff, considering all of the bad press, considering everything, this man is still winning. Yeah. Most people would have folded by now, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. She couldn't handle a couple weeks of heat, and she quit. So all of these people, oh, he's not America first. And what is he? Oh, well, first of all, I have my criticism of Israel and what he and you know the work that's being done with Israel. I have my criticisms of that, but that does not mean he's not America first, right? Right. So this cut the stupidity. It's been 10 months, right? It's been 10 months. And he has been very clear. Did y'all forget? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Did y'all forget the frustration he had right there in front of the press with Netanyahu? So if you're a puppet to Netanyahu, why would you say that in public? Oh, because I'm not. He's not a puppet. He's not a puppet. A puppet wouldn't do that. A puppet would not express their frustration on live camera knowingly. You know, it wasn't like it was a private conversation that leaked. He was right there in front of the press when he said it. So cut the crap. He's not losing. He's not failing. He's not flailing. Y'all are just mad that in spite of everything y'all are throwing at this man, he is still prevailing. Largest tax cut sweeps in history. And when y'all file y'all taxes next year, especially you middle class, lower class bonquishas, when y'all file y'all taxes next year and you get all of these extra write-offs and you have all of that extra tax money, which you can spend at ajsrantroom.com, by the way, next year once you get your tax money. Once you do that, I don't want to hear anything. You know, and then this whole notion that rich people should not get a tax break because they're rich. Why are you hating? Rich people, you don't get rich by just blowing your cash, right? You people are impossible, insufferable. Yes, rich people should get breaks on their taxes. Why the fuck everyone else getting them? Rich people contribute the most to taxes. Why should they not be able to benefit some? Now, the enemy of all of us is corporatism. But nobody ever wants to have that conversation because we're so busy complaining about the wrong stuff. But anyway, Trump administration is winning, continuing to win. And to say that this man is anything short of hilarious, yesterday, 2 turkeys got pardoned. I didn't even know this was a thing. I don't care, but it was all in fun, tongue in cheek, and I'm glad the press didn't make it out something that it wasn't. The press played along with it, and it was pretty cool. But he gave a speech, and Trump's funny. I don't care what y'all say.
Names of Gobble and Waddle. When I first saw their pictures, I thought we should send them. I shouldn't say this. I was gonna call them Chuck and Nancy. But then I realized I wouldn't be pardoning them. I would never pardon those 2 people. I wouldn't pardon them. I wouldn't care what Melania told me. Darling, I think it would be a nice thing to do. I won't do it, darling. These are 2 of the largest turkeys ever presented to an American president, over 50 pounds each. It's the largest we've ever had. And those are big turkeys. Are they as good as the normal-sized turkey? Better or as good? Do they tend to be a little fatty, maybe? No, he said no. He knows the turkey business. Anyway, despite their size, Secretary Kennedy has formally certified that these are the first ever MAGA turkeys. I don't know if I agree with that. These are MAGA. In other words, they could be fat, but they're still MAGA. They've been fattened on a steady
Where's Brian? And you want to talk about fat-phobic comments?
Diet of grass beef to allow the smoothies and all of the other things that they've been eating for this occasion. This was a really big occasion, but they've eaten every fattening food that you can eat. We wanted to really make them special, and they really are. They're like record-setting. I've never seen a turkey that big before. Are they violent at all? Will they attack as I...
Oh my gosh. It gets a little bit funnier when we talk about President Autopen.
Before going any further, I want to make an important announcement because you remember last year, after a thorough and very rigorous investigation by Pam Bondi and all of the people at Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, the White House counsel's office, and the Department of Everything. We have a Department of Everything. You know what that is? I think that's called the White House. Into a terrible situation caused by a man named Sleepy Joe Biden. He used an auto pen last year for the turkey's pardon. So I have the official duty to determine, and I have determined that last year's turkey pardons are totally invalid. As are the pardons of about every other person that was pardoned other than Where's Hunter? No, Hunter's was good. That was the one pardon, Pam, that was good, right? The rest of them are all invalid. I don't know what the hell you're going to do about that, but now we're going to take a little of the joking. That is a mess. But they're hereby null and void. The turkeys known as Peach and Blossom last year have been located, and they were on their way to be processed. In other words, to be killed. But I have stopped that journey, and I am officially pardoning them, and they will not be served for Thanksgiving dinner. We saved them in the nick of time. This one has plenty of time, but they were saved in the nick of time.
Well, congratulations to Peach and Blossom for actually being pardoned for real this time. And of course, now let's get to the fat phobia, because of course it wouldn't be President Trump without going after who we just talked, well, Chicago mayor and the governor of Illinois, Pritzker. Very, very funny moment to me, because we all know how I feel about those people.
So all the crime that took place last night, the night before, the woman with the burning, they burned the woman. To be talking about that now, they burned this beautiful woman riding in a train. A man was arrested 72 times. 72 times, think of that. And they'll let him out again. The liberal judges will let him out again.
Yep.
But we're ready to go. You know, we've been moving toward Chicago. We have a governor that thinks it's wonderful that only like 7 people were killed this week.
Jeez.
But we are moving toward doing, and we're going to, if crime gets, it's horrible what's happening in Chicago. We could make Chicago a safe city in a period of 4 weeks. In a period of 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, it would be totally safe. And the people of Chicago want us to go there. And if you look at the crime that's taken place in Chicago in the last 2 weeks, just take a look. It's on the front page of every newspaper. It's out of control. The mayor is incompetent, and the governor is a big fat slob. He ought to invite us in, say, please make Chicago safe. We're going to lose a great city if we don't do it quickly. Make Chicago, we'll do the same thing as we did in D.C., the same thing as we did everywhere we've gone.
Oh, God. And now for the people, especially probably on TikTok, if I didn't go down on TikTok yet, Trump is not skinny. Trump acknowledged in the same speech, he said, yeah, I need to lose a few pounds too, but he's not fat like that dude. You know, like, we're just, and now you could tell a lifetime of fat versus like, I gained a few pounds in my older years. Trump is, I gained a few pounds in my older years. Pritzker is, I've been fat my whole life, right? And I've done nothing about it. Christie is the same way. When you've been fat your whole life, you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell when someone's been robust since they were teenagers. You know, you can tell, but or children even. But so anyway, oh, now Trump, this is where you lost me. So I saw this as we were coming to as we were going live, and I said, oh hell no. So Trump posted this on Truth Social apparently, and this is not my post. This is actually JD, who's a J6er actually. So there is a new word for a Trump Republican, which is almost everyone. Great policy is key. It's a teplican. Tepublican. There we go. Tepublican. Or a T-publican. I have no idea how to say these. Trump, you know what? Every idea doesn't need to be shared with us. Like, you could just keep that to yourself, because you know only people who are going to use these terms are liberals, you know. But Trump Republican sounds just fine. Trump, you know, like you have a Nixon Republican, you have a Lincoln Republican, you have a Reagan Republican, you have a Bush Republican. Trump Republican is perfect. Just leave it at Trump Republican. Oh snap, I got my first super chat. My first super chat ever on YouTube comes from Prince. Oh, snap. How does Hunter Biden like his you know what? Shut up with these stupid dad jokes. Oh God. Thank you, Prince, for my first super chat on YouTube. I appreciate it. I'm done. Anyway, your dad was a Reagan Republican, Belinda? Hey, let's go. I don't know if I knew any Reagan Republicans. Anyway, so let's close out on a positive note. I mean, Trump again. Once again, Trump, you keep this, but because nobody's gonna call themselves a publican. I don't know even know how to say these terms. A T-publican, just a Trump Republican. Okay, cool. Anyway, so let's go over some great news and as we go into the holiday season regarding prices, because I know we've been impatient with prices and all of that stuff, but they're coming down. You know, it's been 10 months. Calm y'all asses down.
Thanksgiving dinner. Got some good news, America. A little bit of good news, all right? Average cost for 10 people. Average cost now for 10 people. 2 years ago was $61. This year it's down to $55 per person now, not for all 10 people, but for all the folks that you're having over here. Prices right now, turkey is said to be lower, and that's really helping out right now. 16-pound turkey is said to be $21.50, all right? Got a little pumpkin pie mix, $4.16. Sandra, how much is a gallon of whole milk?
Okay.
How much is a gallon of whole milk?
I'm going to say 4 because I'm cheating and I rounded up from what you saw.
I dig it. It's like a presidential test, right? $3.73. Boom, it can be yours. Come on down here. I love cranberries, whole berry cranberries. One of my favorites right now, $2.20.
Amen. So there you go. Yeah, it's cheaper to travel. It's cheaper, you know, it's getting there, right? It's not going to be a miracle overnight. Now, in 3 years, if we're still complaining about the prices of things, then yeah, we can kind of put that on the heads of the Republicans. But anyway, as of this moment, as of this Thanksgiving season, Donald Jaquavius Trump is winning. And he is winning in spite of all of the obstacles, in spite of all of the Marjorie Taylors, in spite of all of the foolala, in spite of all of the snap. Belinda is so competitive. I love. Belinda said, "F yo super chat. I'ma be your." Belinda's my first member. She is the first person to become a member of AJ's Rant Room on YouTube. Thank you, Belinda. I appreciate it. Hey, we are on YouTube doing things. Oh man, I love competitive people. You're not gonna outdo me. Oh God, and then Prince becomes a member. I can't. I love y'all. I can't stand y'all at the same time. But I I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Anyway, so that's our show for today. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, wherever you're going. If you're traveling, if you are going to be with family or friends or alone, whatever you choose. You know, thank you, Belinda, for the super chat. I cannot. Anyway, I appreciate it. If you would like to, oh wait, hold on. Before we go, this is my main. This is like the podcast, podcast. I know we do this lunchtime rant, Monday through Thursday. But Friday nights at 8:00 is the rant experience. Now we won't have a live show tomorrow because Friday, because we'll be enjoying the holiday. I'll be in a hangover of some sort from cranberry sauce or something. But we will have a marathon of my favorite episodes of the Rant Experience so far, from on Friday from noon to midnight. So it's been like 14 episodes of the Rant Experience will be dropping, will be in a marathon form across all the platforms. I don't know if Instagram will do it because I think Instagram has a time limit, but I'm gonna try. So if Instagram allows me to marathon for 12 hours, I'll do it. But Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, I'm sure I'm forgetting one, X will be on there for 12 hours on Friday. So from 12 to 12 Friday, you can drop in. You don't have to stay. Obviously, I don't expect anybody to stay for 12 hours watching and listening to me because I don't want to hear my own voice for 5 seconds, let alone 12 hours. But, you know, if you do drop in, if you happen to drop in, hit the like button and, you know, share it out. You know, people are sitting at home in a hangover. They might need something to watch. Give them a little something to work with. You know, say, hey, this is my boy AJ. This is the Rant Experience podcast. Now, the Rant Experience podcast, we do politics. We also do pop culture. We do music nostalgia. We do inspirational stuff. And we do stuff that makes me laugh, which hopefully will make you laugh. And so it's a variety show. It's like 1 hour of a peek into the mania that goes on in my mind. So from U.S. history to music history to politics to political history to uncomfortable conversations about whatever topic I want to rant about that day. Yeah, that's what we offer here at the Rant Experience. And also, if you would like, you could go to the actual podcast playlist on YouTube and not subscribe, but you can add the podcast to your favorites. And so you'll get an update every time a new episode of the Rant Experience drops. So, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you would like to support the channel, you can go to ajsrantroom.com. If you're on YouTube, you see the merch at the bottom. You should see the items available, including this ugly MAGA hat. I call this the ugly MAGA hat. You can get the ugly MAGA hat at ajsrantroom.com. And also comes in beanie form, hoodie form, and an all black version. So, you know, you want to support the channel, that's another way. Another way you can support the channel is by buying me a coffee, or in this case, a tea. You can go to the Buy Me a Coffee app and go to AJ's Rant Room, or you can scan this QR code right here on your screen, and it'll take you right to my page, and you can, you know, buy me a coffee. We also take Cash Apps as well. And so if you want to go to Cash App, it's AJ's Rant. You can scan the QR code or look up AJ's Rant. You'll see my logo. It should be nothing else. And anyway, that is all for now. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And hope you are blessed. I hope you find there's always something to be grateful for and thankful for. So whatever that is, even if it is something as basic as I got a new pack of drawers, that is something to be thankful for. So even if, you know, you might be having problems with your family, yes, argue with your family about whatever frivolous thing, but ultimately do not forget at the end of the day that you are all human beings, flawed and messy. And yes, we love all of our labels, whatever they are, liberal, conservative, leftist, right winger, whatever the hell you want to call yourself. Ultimately, you are still people. And so if we can just get back to the basic of humanity, despite our labels, the world will be a better place. But Charlie Kirk was also right when he said that the moment we stop talking to each other is the moment we start living in our bias. And then our bias escalates. And then you get the murder of Charlie Kirk. And then you get the death threats on everybody else. So there's a lot to be thankful for, even when you don't think it is. All right, let me get off my soapbox. I said what I said. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. I will catch y'all Monday after the holiday. And so enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend. And don't forget the Rant Experience Marathon on Friday from noon. Appreciate you. Peace.